Hello and welcome everyone to another exciting edition of the 8-Bit Show. Woo!
Yay! Ooh, yay!
Yeah. Should I start like doing our episode number?
You are an episode number
188.
If you want to.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It can't hurt.
We're here to talk about video games and books, movies, TV shows, and all the nerd things in between.
Is that what this is? Oh, shoot. I was on the wrong one. I thought this was some sort of alpha male podcast.
This was a cooking show.
Where we got to talk about how cool we are.
You both have come to the wrong place.
Yeah, everyone already knows how cool we are. We don't need to talk about it.
Right?
I do.
Give me reassurance, please.
Cool, buddy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. How are you guys doing?
Good. Doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been doing all the exciting things.
Yeah, I've done things.
Yeah.
I don't think
We've
that's
done things
hardly
of
any of your
questionable
business.
excitement. Questionable excitement levels.
Yeah, that's fine. You know.
Maybe exciting, maybe it wasn't. Who wants to know?
Who's asking? Yeah. Well, who wants to go first with their weeks? Dive right into it. Not everybody all at
We're
once.
all champing at the bit.
Well,
I didn't really do much of anything this week. I've been playing the new RimWorld DLC.
I went first last time.
All right then. CoffeeAndCorndogs, it's you.
I'm already going until I was rudely interrupted by someone who seems to want to go first.
Right. He wants to go first to say to not go first.
Yeah, that's all. That was it. That's my week. I didn't go first.
I know that game.
Oh yeah.
That's about it. Play new RimWorld. Playing. I think that was about it. Playing new RimWorld. Fun game.
No.
Tried out the new DLC. Hospitality mod is working again.
Nice.
So that's been nice.
That's always good.
What all is in that mod?
Well, that just lets you host guests at your colony. Like random people from other colonies will show up, and if they have a nice time at your colony, you can charge them money for staying in the beds and stuff, and that'll kind of determine the value of how good of a time that they had there.
Okay.
Then you can sell them stuff while they're there too. They always bring like a little bit of money. And then based on how good of a time they had, you can like raise your faction rep for other factions, or they'll offer to join you, or they'll just leave you like good ass like presents. They'll just leave you gifts, like materials and weapons and shit, just different things. So it opens it up for a lot, so you don't have to worry about. Mostly it's just nice having a bunch of people showing up all the time to the colony, so you can do as you please with them. Sometimes that means enslaving them and sacrificing them to Eldritch abominations.
As you do.
Sometimes it doesn't mean that. Sometimes they're just there to, just as guests. So that's a pretty nice mod. Prepare carefully still isn't working, so I can't set my pawn stats exactly as I like them. I just gotta hit randomize until I get good pawns.
Hope for the best.
Yeah. That's been going okay though. Been getting some good pawns. That's about it. We watched that. Me and Christian watched that. What was that movie? Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good flick. Quite liked that.
Yeah, I liked it.
New horror movie.
It was a cool take on like the possession horror.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
New Shudder horror movie. They've been putting out good stuff. I've considered getting their, like subscribing to their streaming service.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that guy. I know that guy.
I like Shudder. I like Shudder. I think they were good. I see why they had to up their subscription costs.
Yeah. Well, they're putting out like a lot of movies and stuff.
Yeah, even doing stuff in theaters that has been fairly well received.
Yeah. I saw watched Leroy, Texas, which was a pretty fun little movie about Leroy, Texas.
Where is that?
It's in Texas.
Thank you for that clarification.
It's a movie. It's on the internet.
And now you know.
I started watching like new Apple TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess just Apple has a new TV show with I really liked Severance. They put that out a while back. I'm waiting for season 2 of that, but got another show, Sugar, with Colin Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun. Fun like Private Eye show. I've been enjoying that. That one's like 4 episodes in.
Okay.
Still watching Shogun.
Yeah.
That one seems like it's getting towards the end now. Pretty sure. Seems like it's wrapping up. We'll see who wins the Shogun.
Right.
The Shogun fight or whatever.
Are you gonna read the book? Have you read the book?
No, and I probably won't. I mean, it's a whole trilogy.
Yeah.
Although I think they have it, or they did it a little while ago. They had it up on Humble Bundle for to get like the ebooks all cheap.
Mm-hmm.
The show's been pretty well received.
Yeah. No, I keep.
That's a good show. I like it.
Keep hearing things about it, so I'm gonna have to check it out.
I didn't end up finishing although I mean I guess I still can finish it. I just haven't finished it yet. That Talented Mr. Ripley TV show that Netflix put out. Ripley, just Ripley is the name of it. Just about done with that. I already got to the part where Matt Damon kills Jude Law. But like on the TV show instead of the movie. But you guys have seen Talented Mr. Ripley, right?
I am.
Tracking.
Yeah. A whiles back.
I've seen it. Yeah.
It's pretty good though. I like it. I don't know if it's like more true to the books or not.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like maybe it is. I don't know, but it does have a different feel from the movie. It feels a lot more. It's all in black and white, so it feels very noir. And they do a good job of that for the whole movie. Very atmospheric. Or not the movie, but the show. Yeah, it's an enjoyable show.
Mm-hmm.
Need to finish that up.
Yeah, that's another book that I never read, so.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was a book until Saltburn got me watching Talented Mr. Ripley again, because that Amazon movie Saltburn is just Talented Mr. Ripley. This British Talented Mr. Ripley. I don't care what anyone else says. People out there making excuses like it's not. It is. Shut up. You don't know what it is.
Shut up.
But yeah, like I like that Ripley show. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's about all I watched. I feel like I probably watched another movie or something, but I don't remember it. Probably wasn't very good. The Roy Texas was pretty good though. Recommend that one. Pretty funny. Got kind of a Fargo feel to it. Just because it's about some guy in like a small town that gets caught up in bigger things. And Steve Vaughn is in it. He's pretty great in it. I like that guy. He's funny.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like Steve Vaughn, then I don't know what to tell you. It's just not a pretty un-American thing to not like.
That's weird.
I got to like the last part of Three Body Problem series.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The book series. The last part of the novel. Which, I mean, at this point, they've kind of... There's some things that have happened in the novel that really, like, changed what's going to be going on going forward. So it was a pretty good time to wrap up the novel, I guess. But some big things. Big things happened in the novel.
That's cool. That's cool. Is it like a paradigm shift for the characters, or
no,
like big reveals, or
no? The characters are not well developed in those novels. That author doesn't write good characters. So I'm just gonna just call it what it is here. So those novels are not written for the characters. The TV show has done an amazing job of actually like making interesting characters, but the novels are definitely more written for the like high concept sci-fi ideas. They're less focused on the characters. They're more focused on on the crazy science fiction itself.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. It can make sense.
I feel like they're kind of trying in this third one to have more interesting characters, but don't really care if they live or die, mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly good though. There's some like now that I'm getting to the end of the third one, like the end of the series, and knowing that they're going to completely drop these ideas. There's some ideas that they dropped that I was like, why did you spend so much time in the book setting this stuff up then? The second novel is full of a lot of dropped... Well, I guess just one big dropped idea. They spent a lot of time. A good quarter of that novel is dedicated to an idea that they're just like, nah, I'm not going to do anything with that.
Huh. That's weird.
I mean, by the end of the second novel, they've kind of dropped the idea. And then, like, well, maybe it'll come back in the third novel, but it doesn't. It doesn't come back at all.
It doesn't. Huh. Do you feel like that's a huge detriment, or is it okay regardless?
I don't think it's a bad thing. Like I said, it's mostly about like exploring these high level sci-fi concepts. So it's not. Yeah. I mean, dropping that in there, like you do get to explore that one particular. Well, I guess not really. We just talk about it. It's not really like spoilers for anything because it never is actually pivotal to the plot. But in the second book, they like humans figure out how to implant ideas into your brain so that you just think something's true, even if it's like objectively not true. Like you implant in someone's brain that the sky is green, and even though they're looking at a blue sky, they will still in their brain think that the sky is green.
Oh, okay. So it like actually becomes like their fact. Like they can't be convinced otherwise.
They can, but it takes a lot of intensive therapy and stuff to get over it. So one guy, when they initially test it, they like tell a guy, water is poison. And it takes that guy years to get over the fact that he thinks water is poison.
Wow.
And even when he's like able to deal with that, he's still like, the character's still like, yeah, I still think it's poison though. Like I know I can drink it every day and nothing happens, but it's still in my mind think it's poison.
Huh.
And they just don't do anything with that idea. They like some of the factions are worried that one guy like use the mind control to make a whole army of like soldiers loyal to his cause. But it turns out he didn't do that. And then we just never mentioned the mind control stuff ever again.
Okay. Interesting
So
choice.
a bit like a strange idea to drop. But I mean, I feel like that's true for a lot of stuff in that, where it's just like, here's a really cool idea. I'm not going to do anything with that. I even felt that way with like there's a blink and you'll miss it moment in the books where they explain how the aliens reproduce. It's like, it's less than a paragraph, or I mean, it's just like a paragraph where it explains it. And the way that the Trisolarians reproduce is that they like merge. Like they don't have genders, so they just like two of them merge, and then 3 to 5 new Trisolarians come out of the 2 merged ones. And the like the new ones retain some of the like physical traits and memories and things of the 2 people that like mushed together to form them. I thought that was a really cool concept. You could write like a whole sci-fi novel with just that concept.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just a quick paragraph where it's like, well, and that's how they reproduce. It's different than how humans reproduce. That's how they do it.
It's different.
I was like, that's a nuts ass concept though. Like they retain memories of the people who made them. And then the whole culture behind that, like you have to accept that you're going to die if you want to reproduce in that culture.
Right.
You just got one shot at it, just squishing with one other person. But also part of you gets to carry on, so you're sort of like functionally immortal because you don't actually die. You just kind of spread out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was a really crazy idea, and it's just a lot of things like that in the book that get introduced but aren't actually explored in any depth. I don't think it's bad. It's just like,
it's just kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it's just kind of disappointing. I would like to see more done with that.
Yeah, I can definitely see why you feel that way, because that does sound like a really interesting idea. So.
Yeah. You can do a lot with that.
There's a lot of really interesting concepts in there.
But like I said,
that's it.
It's all about like the novels just seem to be more about just those ideas themselves, just introducing those high concept ideas. It does throw a lot your way. I think maybe in the second book also that idea was supposed to be a bit of a red herring for like what would end up saving the day at the end of the second book, because they throw a lot of shit at the wall in the second book. And most of it ends up coming up at the end being like useful, except for that mind control shit. So that might have just been a bit of a red herring.
Yeah.
Like set it up so the audience thinks that's what's going to be important for the final thing. It turns out that's the only thing that didn't actually matter.
Yeah.
Either way, they do spend a lot of time of it in that book for no reason. Yeah, that's my hot takes on book 2 of the 3-body problem.
Super
That
hot
one had
takes.
the biggest problem.
A lot of dropped concepts that would have been cool to explore more.
Yeah. The third book kind of dials that back, and the concepts that we're bringing up are also the things that we're actually exploring. Although the third book is dealing with like trans-dimensional travel, so it's high concept enough without adding other things.
A bunch of other, yeah. Huh. Well, you did intrigue me more, so.
They're a pretty good series of books.
Ashley's got the first one if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to at some point.
I don't really care where that book ends up. I read it.
That's how I feel about books.
It's meant to be read. It's gonna sit on my shelf. People know I read it. I don't give a shit. I'm sure people will believe me if I tell them I read it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there might be some asshole who doesn't think you did. Me. That's me.
Me.
I saw you
watched
do
me
it.
read it. The first one I went through
I
like
mean,
4
Watched you
days.
the
What
entire
you can
time.
see, what you see with your eyes, and what really exists, totally different things.
That's deep, man. Deep.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about it like that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Of course I am. No, don't die, Gil.
I'll die if I wanna. And tell me when and where to die.
Right.
I'll do what I want.
Well, I think that's about it for my week. Not a lot of video games played. Mostly RimWorld.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I guess I'll go next. Unless Christian wants to cut me off to say that he went first last week, so he should go last this week.
Well,
Looks
no,
like
I
he's
won't cut you off to say
being
that.
Sure.
Yeah.
What I will cut you off to say is,
I do it.
I have nothing. I just beat up a shambling mound. There you go.
You're a shambling man.
Mm-hmm.
No, I beat one.
And now you are one.
We are what we
Actions.
beat.
We are
That's
what
fair.
we beat.
That's the
I've heard
same.
That is
I've
the
heard that
same.
before, yeah.
Yeah,
You have heard
definitely.
that.
That's yeah. Everyone knows that.
Yep.
Everyone.
One thing I haven't beat is Descent, but man, am I loving that game. The last mission that I went
Frankie
through.
Christian went first last week.
Thank you. I was about to say something.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
I thought I went first last week.
No, I just listened to that podcast the other day.
Oh, okay.
I definitely went first.
I'll take your word for it. Then.
But yeah, no, the last level that I did was kind of like you have like floors that you gotta traverse through and like beat the boss of each floor, which is like a beefed up version of a common enemy, and then you have to fight a beefed up version of each one of those all at once to then get to the mega ultra boss. And I don't know, there's just something about it. It was super, super fun. It was cool because there's like a bunch of areas that had just these enemies just like sitting and waiting and not doing anything. And you're like, I don't know what's going on here. Are they about to kill me? And then you accidentally shoot one trying to open a door and then they all try to kill you.
So they were trying to kill you.
Not at first. It was a very much do not fire unless fired upon situation, so... And I made a boo-boo. But yeah, it's super fun. I vaguely remember doing that stage, but like not a whole lot. I'm definitely getting to the point where I'm remembering less and less. I think I've gotten past the points that I've played, you know, the 2 or 3 times that I've ran through the game. Because I've only beaten it once. I know for a fact I've only beaten it once. But I think I've played through a fair amount of it. Maybe 4 times. But yeah, so I'm excited because I think I only have a few more stages left. So, and talking to some of the people who've been watching me who are like, they know the game better because they've played it more recently or like were super into it back in the day. It's been a good talk of nostalgia-y things. So yeah, it's been real fun doing that on stream. I got some Tears of the Kingdom in, and that game just continues to wow me with its set pieces.
You were frustrating me with that game.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that.
It wasn't even that bad.
Christian said you were playing wrong, Frankie.
Man,
I straight
that
up,
one was really, really frustrating because you kept looking at the car, and then at one point you pick up the like ramp thing that you use to like make a plow,
yeah.
and you use it for a ramp to get a chest, and then you set it down nicely right by the car that you're clearly supposed to add it to.
Well, the thing is, see, the part that my thought process was, oh, I need to put one ball in here. I don't know if it has to be like a certain ball or something, you know, what's going on.
I don't know where that came from either. Like,
yeah,
why
I
was
have no
just
idea.
one ball? There's a whole pit of balls.
No, that's what I suggested too, because Christian was describing the situation. He was like, there was a whole bunch of balls and you just put them in one by one. I was like, well, maybe he thought it was like there was one specific ball that needed to go in.
Yeah, that was my initial thought, and then Ryan was like, well, just throw a bunch of them in there. Maybe it's like pressure sensitive or whatever. You need a certain amount. And like, I don't know. I wasn't like, we were also talking about something, so I wasn't even like paying attention.
At one point, you even turn on the car, but you don't attach the plow thing, so it just runs over all the balls and gets all messed up. And I was like, oh, so close.
Yeah, there's. I think there was somebody. Was it somebody in the chat that we were talking to? I can't remember, but I was like kind of distracted in that too, so I wasn't even. I was just mindlessly throwing them in, which is whatever. I didn't know what was gonna happen either which way. So. But yeah, and then the spring one that I got stuck on, was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Was that yesterday? Yeah. That one, I straight up did not even see that platform up there. If you wouldn't have told me, I don't know how much longer I would have spent being like, where the fuck do I need to go? How come I can't get up to this part? So, yeah. But yeah, that game is just so fun. And that's the thing. That's what I love about that game, is that there's so many different ways to do things. And like, it's so easy to miss some stuff too. I mean, that's always been a thing with Zelda. It's really easy to miss things. But I think what's extra special about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is the way you can kind of explore the tools that you have to find something unique. So.
They definitely both succeeded at that. I am personally a bigger fan of Tears.
Oh, I think Tears of the Kingdom is an overall much better game.
I think it took everything from the first one and just improved upon it.
Yeah.
I just love the weapon stuff. I like the construct crafting. I like being able to make a hover bike and taking off in the sky. Like nothing. It's just too fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. So yeah, there's still plenty more. We're still trying to do all the shrines that we have unlocked. I think we're at 16 hearts now is what I counted. And I think the next real thing I would like to do is try to find all the pieces of clothing that I possibly can, because there's still definitely so much. Yeah, there's so many.
Did you get the Wind Waker shirt?
No, I don't have the shirt.
Yeah, go do a whole thing for a village.
Yeah, I don't think I have the shirt. I can't remember. I have part of that, but I don't remember which ones.
Oh, the shirt's not part of a set.
Oh,
it's just like the villager little shirt with the lobster on it.
Oh yeah. Did I do that? That sounds familiar. I might have done that.
You don't get
the lobster sounds familiar, so
it's just a really cool looking shirt.
Yeah. No, there's so much that's in that game it's just cool looking. So
there's a lot of shout outs to all of the other Zelda games in the clothing and weapons that you can get.
There's a lot of fun stuff in there, and then I did like the ability that the pose give you to repurchase that stuff.
The underground pose statues that let you buy it again. That was a big change from the first one.
Yeah, all of a sudden gave me permission to use the special items that I found.
I can use my boomerang.
Right?
Yeah, I can use my big bastard sword.
Instead of just saving my boomerang for cosplay.
Right.
I don't believe you.
You can use all the cool unique weapons,
Yeah, and the fact that they just show up in there and it's like, okay, cool. Or if you accidentally sell some of the special clothing, like you could just
you can get it. You can get it back there too, yeah. yeah, they got a fix for that stuff. I think that was a good call. It was sorely needed in the first one. They got it.
But yeah, game wise, that's been it for me, really. I think. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I played anything else. I want to say I did something else on the Switch, but I don't think so. Because I haven't touched any more Deadly Premonition, but I do need to go back to that too. But let's see. So, TV wise, I finished Marvel's Echo. That, I will say,
Echo.
the ending isn't like completely satisfying. But I think that's just because it's setting up for more, right? For season 2.
So far, that's been a big problem I've had with shows recently, is that they're always setting up for the next season.
I mean, that's how they always go.
I get it.
Not always, but usually, yeah.
No, I get it, but like, there's a lot of shows that can pull it off where they have something like, it can definitely lead to a second season, but the season itself like reaches a satisfying conclusion.
Well, that's what I want to be. It's really hard for me to pinpoint this because I really, really liked the show and I liked the ending. There was just this part of it that's like, you know, it doesn't get fulfilled, and so it feels a little unsatisfying. But I don't want to say that it was wholly unsatisfying. That being said, there are some amazing scenes all the way up until the end that are just really fucking cool, and the way they put everything together, the story that they tell, it's a really, really good show, in and of itself. So, yeah, I do want to see more of it. If it did well enough to have a second season, I'm not sure. So, hopefully
it did.
Yeah,
that's all we can really hope for our shows, right?
Yeah, totally.
Is that hopefully it got enough, or people hate watched it enough for it to get a second season?
I don't know. Sometimes I want shows to like end as well, though.
Yeah.
No, I do think that there's. I really feel like 6-7 seasons, and you should really be like, if not having wrapped it up, need to be considering how to wrap up.
It kind of depends on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the story that you're trying to tell. I don't know.
I mean, just some go way overboard. I'm currently in the middle of rewatching Supernatural, and
yeah,
I'm 8 seasons in.
I don't think you could really have like. I think some shows would work best as like one season or like a mini series, but other shows would definitely work better as like having more time.
Yeah.
Like,
then there's ones that definitely
show.
Like break that mold.
I would have watched like 3 more seasons of that.
For however much I hit or miss on some of the seasons, like American Horror Story, I feel like is something that can continue on because it can tell different stories.
Well, that's something that just can kind of last forever because the seasons are all different. So it doesn't really. I mean, you get all your character growth in whichever season you're watching. You don't need more seasons for it.
Yeah.
And then the characters aren't going to get stale or anything. Although, I mean, I guess the show does kind of run the risk of that. So it keeps bringing characters back, but I don't know. I think they're done doing that too. That didn't really work out when they tried to do that last time.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it before. That's just a quick way to lose agency when you disregard deaths constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Removes all stakes. Like,
yeah,
never worry about any of the people.
Yeah, it does. It does also, like, I don't know. Again, it depends on the story and what you're trying to tell. I mean, it's something where, I think, like, I thought about X-Files a while, and as much as I would like to say that it's because David Duchovny didn't return why that ship sailed. Which I think, I mean, it's still a big part of it, but I also think that at that point, people were clamoring for this big story to just be what the show was. And the show, for the most part, like when I most recently went back and watched it, like there's very little of the story that's going on from week to week, you know? And so I think audience's opinion of what the show wanted to be for them changed into something that the show wasn't ever going to provide. And I think that's the second part of what made that show fall apart. But and that's the thing. It's weird. Who knows? Because like the opinions of what people have about, you know, this piece of art that you made, you just don't know how they're going to feel about it, if your point is even going to come across, or if they're going to love it for a completely different reason. So it's, I don't know, it's a tough thing for sure. Tough thing to figure out. But that being said, like, I think shows shouldn't be limited to these 20 episodes a season or 10 episodes a season. They should be free to just tell the story in however long that they feel like they need. Which is also another really refreshing thing about Echo, because it's only 5 episodes long. It's great. Or maybe 6.
That's nice. I have quite
liked. It's nice when shows are the amount of episodes they need to be.
Yeah.
I have quite liked the shorter seasons, like everything getting like 8 seasons instead of like 10.
8
like it was 10. Yeah, it was like 10 episodes for like your average season. But lately it's been 8, which is like, you know, forced a lot quicker of storytelling and stuff.
Yeah.
It also depends on the show you're watching, because you're like half-hour sitcoms, or you got to pump out like 24 of those a season.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
But you're more like prestige shows. Those are like anywhere between. I mean, normally you're seeing between 8 to 12 episodes a season, and they could be shorter. But 8 to 12 seems to be about the average, which makes sense. These are hour-long episodes. They're usually a lot more money pumped into them than the 30-minute sitcoms.
Right.
So it makes sense you wouldn't have as long as seasons for those.
Yeah.
Those like hour dramas and stuff.
It's just weird to think about how, you know, in the early 2000s, it was like every show, if it was like under 20 episodes a season, then it was like, what's wrong with you?
Oh yeah. Well, I think that led to a lot of problems with like,
yeah, totally.
Well, just with like a lot of shows where they're just, well, now we got to fill an hour of TV.
Right.
But we don't have a lot of money.
Exactly.
There's gonna be people talking at each other for 45 minutes of the runtime.
And speaking of, so I've watched the first episode of Fallout. I gotta say, it's really interesting. The very first episode seemed like it could lead into some cool stuff, so I definitely want to check out more.
It's fine. It's not a bad show.
Right, yeah.
I don't have much else to say besides it's like not a bad show.
I didn't think it was amazing. But I enjoyed it.
Well, I mean, since I'm not so steeped into the lore, I've seen plenty of videos on Fallout lore. Just because the extra stuff that they have going on outside of the main stories, it's really interesting.
I felt that was like the most interesting stuff in the TV show was like the side stuff.
So,
well, yeah, much like the games.
Yeah,
the most interesting stuff is your side adventures, your side quests.
So that's why I'm like, I definitely want to watch more and see what little tidbits they're gonna have and whatnot. And I don't know.
It kind of sucks because they do spend more screen time sometimes on less interesting storylines.
And that's okay. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'll hopefully be starting to watch more of that, because Sky was gonna see if Zoe wanted to watch that, like all of us maybe watch that together, or at least them watch the first episode. But apparently Zoe has no interest in it at all, so, which is weird.
Zoe's never really But Zoe's never really been a big fan of like the Fallout.
No, but she's like super into post-apocalyptic stuff.
Yeah, but she's never been into Fallout. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think you need to be into Fallout to watch it. Like that, I think that's what's pretty great about the show, is that there's so many little nods. But I'm sure me, again, not being like super versed in, because I've only played like a small portion of 4 and a little bit of New Vegas. And I'm just not like super into the games. I want to be.
I mean,
but
I have nowhere to speak on that.
Yeah,
I fucking love Fallout. Fallout's my jam.
But I thought that as its own story, it's still holding up. It's really interesting as a post-apocalyptic world, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh, well, that's interesting that she has no interest in it, because I even just based off of the trailer, I was like, okay, this looks like it can hold its own. Like, you don't need to know everything about Fallout to like this show.
Yeah.
But
yeah, possibly.
Maybe
I think it would definitely be better with the show. Like, no, having any kind of knowledge and like of that setting already would be important. That like alternative history where we, use vacuum tubes, where that technology went farther than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, honestly, like, even when I first saw, I think it was possibly Killian that I ever first saw play that. Like, I just thought that was all in the 50s. Like, it wasn't until like years later that, I don't know, one of you guys told me that yeah, it's like complete alternate history, not just in the fact that the bombs fell, but that the microtransistor wasn't ever invented.
Yeah.
And I was like, that really intrigued me more, honestly. So I was like, oh shit, that's really cool.
Well, that is a super interesting part, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well,
the fact that somewhere along the way we got stunted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's cool because it's like, no, it's like technology still progressed, just in this different way. So it like allows for some really cool set designs that make sense in that universe,
Yeah.
So
it gives it that era, that 50s,
yeah,
30s to the 50s era feel, while at the same time also having a futuristic feel. It's cool.
Exactly. It's good stuff. So yeah, can't wait to watch more of that.
Almost like what do you call it, like retro punk.
Yeah. Retro punk. And yeah, other than that, I watched the Deadpool trailer. Did you guys check that out?
No.
Oh.
Don't really care all that much.
Oh man, it's really funny. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's gonna be entertaining, especially the end of the trailer. The end of the trailer got me pretty bad.
I'll probably definitely watch it. I enjoyed the other two.
I haven't even watched the second one.
I like Ryan Reynolds, and I like I like Ryan Reynolds, and I like Wolverine, and they're two, like their charisma with each other over the past few years has already been gold. Right. To get something on film and stuff will be fun.
Really good jib. Should be enjoyable.
Yeah. The trailer showcases a lot of Wolverine too, so it's kind of cool to see more of that interaction in the trailer.
I'd like to see a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see more Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let me see.
And it's set to a Madonna song. Great. It's absolutely great.
I think I saw the first teaser that was released
from like a month ago or something like that.
Yeah. I'd seen that one.
Which I thought that's a good setup. Seemingly, I'm not sure exactly where they're gonna go with it, but yeah, they show off what I assume is the main bad guy. I'm not sure exactly who it is. And God, kind of more of what the story's going to lean towards, possibly. It's a trailer, so who knows. But yeah, it looked entertaining, which is all I could ask for from Deadpool 3.
I guess that is all you can ask for, yeah.
Those movies just need to not take themselves too seriously. Like, that's all.
Oh yeah,
like,
and this one,
as long as they hold that like, you know, having Brad Pitt be a cameo, being invisible man who doesn't speak, and you only see him for one frame.
Exactly. Yeah.
That sort of like ridiculousness is fun to play with.
Yeah, and in the trailer, it's evident that they're able to continue doing that, even though they're now under Disney.
One thing that they might need to slow off with is like the meta humor of it. I get that Deadpool's like, I'm not saying not to get rid of meta entirely, but one of the things I didn't like about the last one is that there might have been too much of it. Like, I felt there was a bit too much.
That's kind of been done to death.
I didn't feel that way, but I can see where you're coming from.
I will not know failure.
Like, it's not Deadpool's fault, but like, meta humor has become such a trope.
Yeah, it's not even, they did it like fine and it was funny, and I like Deadpool too. It's one of those things, getting tired of seeing it.
I mean, in some ways, it is Deadpool's fault that that's a trope.
Yeah, actually.
Because they helped popularize it as a trope. But I mean, everybody does like the meta humor now, and it's just
Yeah.
it's just not as funny anymore.
But yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. Well, that's it for the show, guys. Everybody have a great night.
All right. Adios. Okay, next time. Love you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Do we not have hot nudes to talk about?
Hot nudes?
News.
Oh, news.
Oh, now you just want to skip my week.
Yeah. What news do you
I
have?
didn't hear about it.
I don't want to talk about news. I want to talk about what I did this week.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Here you go.
Anyways,
But
in the
before you
news
do-
today. Yeah, I did things. I watched
Christian,
the
you
movie.
went first last week.
I did go first last week. Thank you for telling me. I've almost forgotten. I would have forgot. Yeah. We watched that Late Night with the Devil,
Yeah, that was pretty good. I like
which
that. Yeah.
I really liked. It was a really cool. They don't feed you much. Most of it's just still a mystery by the end of what exactly the hell happened. They
Clear what happened.
Well, I mean, they give you like a good enough background that you can piece together, but nothing's ever spelled out for you.
It does have that like it almost has like that like found footage, like lost media kind of feel to it.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the things that I really loved about it is anytime, like, it's set to be like an old late show, right? Like the show that it's portraying is like trying to go up against like Carson. So like it's that era, and
Yeah, it's
whenever
like a late 70s late night talk show. Yeah.
and whenever we're like on set and are a part of the show, the ratio goes to like old school TV, the 4:3.
Yeah, it's the 4:3
okay.
ratio. Yeah.
Ratio, and then when we're behind scenes, it spans back out, giving a separation there, including even in like film grain. Like they added like cigarette burns and scratch marks to film
Oh, that's good.
to make it seem kind of like those lost episodes.
Yeah.
Like there's so much there that they did like really.
Don't worry,
fun.
it is in full definition though. We don't have to watch it in 480.
Yeah. It was so good, so wonderfully shot. I thoroughly enjoyed that horror movie. Maybe not quite as much as like in recent horror movies. I would still say When Evil Lurks still tops.
That's my like best horror of the year. I know it
Dude,
came
that was
out
so good.
early this year, but I was
It's so
blown away
good.
by that. Like it was amazing.
It is way too good of a movie.
Yeah. that's
So that one still kind of beats it out.
But this was good. This was a good horror movie. I quite liked it.
Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed that movie. Then we watched yesterday. I watched the American Society of Magical Negroes, which
that movie was totally all. I forget that was the movie that I forgot to that we watched. Yeah, that movie was totally all over the goddamn place.
it really was like. So it ended up being kind of just a rom-com.
Oh,
Is how I would describe it in general, and that's not what I thought it would be.
I think it has a pretty important message. It's just that the message is one that everybody already knows and is aware of. That's like,
At least, especially the people who are gonna go see that movie. Like, we get the message, and it's a positive message. It probably should be heard by a number of people but they're not gonna watch that movie, like solely because they don't want to hear that message.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be hard to reach them. In an overall sense, it was just kind of like a basic rom-com. After that, not that it was a bad movie. There was parts of it that I thought were really funny.
there was no antagonists in that movie.
Yeah, yeah, like.
Really,
Not a bad movie, but definitely not what I expected. So maybe that kind of came into play.
I was spitballing better plots for that movie while we were watching the movie. It could have been a lot better. Yeah, it could have gone a couple different directions and still been better.
Yeah, there's a few ways it could have gone. We talked about a few.
I liked parts of it. I just don't like that movie's kind of all over the place. It didn't really come together. Not for me, anyway. It's a good message, but just something that everybody kind of already knew and didn't really need to be said.
Yeah.
I don't think.
You can't win them all, so.
Overall, though, I enjoyed them. I enjoyed it enough. It wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah.
Decent. I hate rom-coms, so that
If I would have known it was a rom-com going into it, I probably wouldn't have been as disappointed.
Rom-coms. Ugh.
Let's see. I finished the Three Body Problem Netflix show. Pretty good. Definitely a lot of changes from the books because I've been going through the books as well.
How far are you in the books?
About a little over halfway. I would say. Let's see. I got like an audible time. I've got like 10 hours, 11 hours left.
That's on the third book, right?
Yeah, on the 27, on a 28-hour book, I'm at 12 hours.
Okay, so about halfway, a little less than halfway through.
Yeah.
A little over halfway.
A little over halfway.
It's solid. I'm listening to them doing the fairy tales. I think I was telling
Oh yeah, you were
Andrew about it. We're in the middle of like the 3 fairy tales stuff, so if you read it, you'll know what that is. But I like what they've done with the show. They definitely made like it more diverse. They've combined a number of characters and made it into what could be more of a show. Whereas the book, is like Earth facing this problem, and the problem is like our big focus. You can't really do the same thing with a TV show. You really need those characters. So they let those people shine more,
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was talking about earlier. Yeah, the book is more about those high concept ideas, but yeah, the show's kind of got to be about characters because it's a show.
Yeah, right.
So, we as an audience need something to watch. We can't just. It's not my toilet. It's not my toilet reader book anymore. Where I can be like, oh, that was a neat sci-fi idea I read about while I was taking a shit.
Yeah.
On with my day.
I started watching the Mr. and Mrs. Smith TV show.
Oh. How's that?
With Donald Glover and what's her name? I'm gonna feel bad for not knowing her name.
I don't know.
Donald Glover's names.
Well, yeah, because he's one hot, sexy mama.
Very famous.
Maya Erskine plays Jane Smith. Donald Glover plays John Smith. And it's somewhat interesting so far. Kind of a spy thriller thing.
Yeah.
It's not so much in the same as the movie where.
I asked him earlier if it was like the movie with the sexy people, but it's not like the movie with the sexy people.
No, it seems like this is more like Mr. and Mrs. Smith might be like a code name for something. But it doesn't have the whole like movie thing where they are from two separate agencies and don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
This one's like sleeper agents that are Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They work for the same people and they know it. Their marriage is like a sham, and just for cover.
I think we all know why.
Huh.
Although it's them like they end up hooking up and all that. So far, it's been pretty fun.
Well,
we're like 3 episodes in. They've done a couple missions. There were some cool like shootout bits, and then there was like a big old mess up that happened where they accidentally overdose their target. They're supposed to like inject him with a truth serum. And they were given very specific instructions that not to like overdose him, like one shot only.
uh-huh.
And then they get into a situation and they both end up like having the same idea of injecting the truth serum at like the same time. So he just gets double shotted at like instantaneously. And ends up like overdosing. It led to some pretty funny moment. Overall, not bad. I like Donald Glover. I think he's a pretty great actor.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
And Maya's doing great too. I think the two of them are playing well off of each other.
Yeah, so I'm reading here. It is inspired by the film, but it sounds like
it's definitely under. It definitely has the same like vibe. Like this couple is secret agents, and like at the start of it, you're introduced to like 2 others. It looks like they're like another couple before we get introduced to the main one.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said like I think it's some sort of like name, like 007 is like a code name.
Yeah.
007 isn't James Bond, or James Bond himself is a code name as well, like code name used by other people. I think that's the same sort of thing here, as you meet like a couple earlier who seems to be on like the run, and they get overwhelmed and just get like annihilated right off the start. I don't know.
Huh.
And then these 2 people go in. You see their like interview process to do it. I don't know. It seems pretty fun. I'm gonna keep watching it. 3 episodes in. I feel like it could go somewhere cool. Let's see. Other than that, I have games wise. I've played games.
Have you?
Yeah, right.
Well, lately I've been playing one game. That's more specifically.
Yeah.
I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 quite a lot. I started doing a Dark Urge run where I'm trying to fight off my Dark Urge.
Oh, okay.
Won't you help me?
Which has been pretty fun. I accidentally murdered a bard and a squirrel.
Accidentally?
Yeah.
Did you murder the bard with the
You
squirrel?
picked that Dark Urge on purpose? Who you're getting into?
It was an urge. You can't stop urges.
Isn't that the point of what you're trying to do?
Like a disease.
That is exactly the point I'm trying to do. I actually did a pretty good... Actually had a really big moment with that pretty recently as I entered Act 2. You're told to kill one of the characters that is coming up in the story. You're told to kill her before you meet her. And she's keeping like this protective shell over this like little town. And if you kill her, the whole town gets wiped out. Also, a number of quests get ruined and stuff like that. But you can try and fight that urge. You can fight off that urge and not kill her. But in turn, that made it to where I went back to camp and slept for the night and almost killed my romantic interest in the camp.
Ew.
Wow.
I had to do like 3 fairly difficult checks to fight it off. Otherwise, I would have killed Lizelle in my party, and that would have been.
Is that your romantic interest?
Currently, yeah, that is my romantic interest. Yeah.
You must not have gotten to Karlatch yet.
Look, I like Karlatch enough. But I thought with the Dark Urge, it would be fun to have Lizelle, the angry Gith warrior, as the romantic partner.
Yeah, but Karlatch though.
she is the best.
Alright. Feel like you're making strange decisions, but
well, I gotta make off decisions.
Your playthrough.
I actually really like Lizelle as a character. She's probably one of my favorites. Like the whole story she goes through, I think is really fun. Anyways, Baldur's Gate 3, best game ever. I love this game so much. Sometimes it can be frustratingly difficult, but overall, I just love it. I can't stop playing it.
Fair enough.
I have played a few other things though. I played a little bit of Fallout 4 recently.
You and everyone else.
Yeah. Me and like every Fallout game received like the biggest boost of players this week. But that's because it's an us, It's fun. I actually didn't play it as long as everybody else, but I did think it was funny that it just got everybody to pop it in again.
To be fair, I was actually thinking of playing some Shelter. That was a really fun game. I had a lot of fun with that game.
It was a fun game. A little over monetized.
Well, yeah, definitely.
But I guess it's a mobile game.
You're right.
Reminds me why I don't play mobile games.
I mean, it was free.
Yeah.
So. At least it was free.
Mm-hmm.
I can slightly understand more monetization when a game is free.
True. I remember the announcement for it being really cool, where they're like, "We announced it, and it's also available right now. Go get it."
Yeah.
Although I didn't have a smartphone at the time, so I couldn't actually play it. But I got to find out it existed. And then it later came to PC, and it was fun.
You have phones, right?
Yeah, I didn't pull that Diablo Immortal shit. They ported it to PC. I think it was actually on PC, like at launch.
Yeah,
it was like mobile and PC. Yeah. Whereas Immortal, they were just like, no, it's just on your phone.
If not, it was quickly thereafter that it got to PC.
Yeah.
I've been playing this game called The Bloodlines.
The Bloodlines, eh?
I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Double check there. Or The Bloodline. It's like a low poly Skyrim type game.
Huh.
But like real open-ended. Everything is like super open. You don't really pick a class or anything like that.
Oh, I've seen that.
But it has a very Morrowind and Oblivion like structure. You do something, you level up in it. But it has like a really freedom of choice movement. and leveling up and just what you do. You can build out a castle, you can go build a little home, you can go farm, you can go fish, mine, whatever. You can literally go do whatever you want. I've got a little necromancer guy I'm working on. He's got a few necromancer spells going. It's all right. I play for like an hour at a time. It's pretty low tier stuff.
Yeah.
But it has its charm.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Like I said, I've seen a bunch of people playing it, so.
Yeah, it was recently highlighted by, if you wanted to do check out like fun gameplay of it, Splattercat Games here on the YouTubes recently played it. So let's see. That is mostly all I've really done.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly Baldur's Gate. I've been playing way too much of that this week.
Baldur's Gate related things.
Gates, balls, Baldur Gates.
Well, with that, shall we hit the news?
Sure, I've got some of that too.
Yeah, let's do it. What has been going on in the world, Two Littles? Tell us. What has the industry been up to?
The Nazis are at it again.
Bomb on us. Shit. They are?
They're always at it. I just figured I'd be safe saying that.
Oh. What is it? What are they at again?
It?
Are they invading Poland?
Just typical Nazi stuff. Hate. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Yes, I hear you. I'm coming, Tom.
He's just letting you know that you went first last week.
Excellent callback. You think he would have realized that by now?
What's that, Christian?
Yeah.
Realized that he went first?
Yeah.
He does go on about it. Yeah, I thought that was his whole thing.
Right? Apparently. He just needed an extra reminder.
You just needed to believe in himself the whole time.
That was the lesson he learned.
Yep.
Well, while we're waiting for him, I'll do something.
I think vampires got him.
Oh, I am a vampire, and
What do you got? What you got? News? You got news, right? You got
I got
news?
some news. Yeah, I got some news.
Hit us with the news.
Yeah. So, something a little fun and extravagant at the same time. So I guess you can get a giant life-size slowpoke for just $450. It's this giant plushie. Let's see, the dimensions are, it's 17 pounds, 26 inches tall, and 59 inches long.
It's basically they're the sequel to the Snorlax that they sold.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yep. I mean, this thing looks awesome.
Not that I'd ever have the money, but if they made one that was a Charizard, like a huge Charizard, I would. I would.
It's pricey, but it looks like it's really soft too. So,
So these are for like people bang these things.
I mean, hey, you do what you want.
Could you bang these things?
You could bang anything.
Or put them in the laundry or like dishwasher. So
Yes.
you clean them up.
We'll just leave it at yes.
Dishwasher safe. All right, good. That's very good. That's going to be important.
Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty much the size of a queen size mattress, apparently. So.
Wow. Oh, you just live on that thing.
Right? It doesn't seem that big on this picture, but I don't know. Anyways.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Christian, you're up.
Real life, I'm actually very big.
You're up.
What about Europe? We don't usually cover that. We're more like American-centric show.
Mm-hmm.
On account of that's where we live at.
Yep.
So after being in early access for 12 years, 7 Days to Die is finally leaving early access.
Oh.
7 Days to Die is kind of like Minecraft with zombies. Every 7 days you get attacked by hordes.
Wait, but Minecraft has zombies though, so it's not Minecraft with zombies.
No, this one is.
This one is.
Like, but that's just Minecraft, because Minecraft already has zombies.
No.
Minecraft is Minecraft with zombies.
But you take Minecraft and you add zombies.
But it has zombies in it already.
Yeah, but you add zombies.
Well,
it's like
just
I have
more
a bowl,
zombies.
Yeah, I have a bowl of cereal.
So
You
like
add cereal.
like the swimming zombies.
I don't know. That's a good question. Too littles?
I don't know. I haven't played the game. You're the one who's played the game.
You played Minecraft all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about. Minecraft? Is that like Minesweeper?
Oh, that's
exactly
a good
like
game.
Minesweeper.
With zombies.
That's correct.
With
You tell
zombies?
people that. Yeah, it's Minesweeper. It's like Minesweeper with crafting. And zombies.
And zombies.
It's pretty cool though. I mean, 7 Days to Die is an alright game. It's cool that it's finally getting out of early access. It's definitely been a long road. The biggest reason I bring this up is if you've had any interest in it, now would definitely be the time. Because up until April 29th, the game will only cost you $6. After that, however, the game will be increasing to $45.
Whoa, that's an increase.
As it goes to full release.
Mhm,
But if you get on it now, up until the 29th, you can pick it up for $6.
Right. No, that sounds like a deal.
It's not bad. I've watched
Pretty fun game. Actually.
I've watched a number of people play.
I like it. It's pretty solid. The Neebs cast plays it.
That's who I was thinking of just now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys crack me up. Big fan, guys. Hey, if you ever want to do a collab, let me know.
Collab with the Neebs.
Oh my god. Be dope.
Yeah, right. That would be cool as shit, but we're not cool enough. We're not cool
You
enough
don't know. Abspro's probably watching right now, and he's like, "Oh, these guys are hilarious. I'm gonna get them on the next thing that we do."
The next thing. Yeah.
Uh,
Fingers crossed.
but 12 years is a pretty long one. I think they were trying to compete with Kenshi.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize it. But I mean, I guess it has been that long.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was still in early access.
Right.
I thought it'd come out. I thought it 1.0 a while ago.
I thought so too. There you go.
And for them, it's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun little zombie survival game.
Yeah. I should check it out before it's more expensive.
Oh, we can all co-op play together. The multiplayer is very stable on it.
What's that like? With some of the games we play.
Couldn't tell you.
Most of the games we play.
Much as I love Helldivers.
Yeah, I did have a very rough start.
Ugh, yeah.
So it looks like
It's all good now, though. I have no problem getting on there.
Oh, that's good. Looks like Fortnite and Nintendo had recently had some discussion on bringing Samus into the game. basically, Nintendo did not want Samus to be on other consoles.
That makes sense.
I'm supposed to be surprised. Hold on.
No.
My surprised face.
Not at all. There's no
What?
surprise to this.
They didn't want to collab with anybody? Nintendo. Notoriously collabed people.
Well, what's interesting is that they actually still seem pretty excited. It almost hints that maybe something might be worked on as a collaboration between the two. But at least Samus won't be coming. But yeah, I don't know. The way that it sounded like the conversations went is that both teams were really excited and they just couldn't come to a deal. So yeah, I don't know. Who knows what we'll get in the future. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I saw that article and I was like, well, of course Nintendo does.
Yeah,
I just saw the headline and I was like,
Nintendo
why would
out of that?
They already got mad when they did Prime. Like, we were lucky we got Prime at all, and it did just get like thrown under, like a bus somewhere, or in a trash pit, like ET.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that trash pit is in our backyard.
Well, you know what they say.
What do they say?
One man's trash is another man's video game.
I guess it applies.
No, that game's trash.
So we were just talking about how much people played Fallout over the weekend in many fashions, like through all versions of Fallout, from Fallout 1 all the way to 76. People have seen just a huge rise in playing. I guess there was some fun stuff with 76. A lot of the community that's happens to still be on that game decided to, because they saw a big influx of noobs.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of them set up like makeshift shops and adventuring party hangouts.
Oh, that's
for
cool.
the new people, so they could find groups and people to go run off with it and have fun.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So that was kind of cool. Another funny thing to come out of that is Nexus Mods, which is like #1 for Fallout mod.
Mm-hmm.
It saw such an increase that they were actually having problems with people with too many downloads happening at once on their site.
Mm-hmm.
Across all the games, really, but mostly Fallout 4 and New Vegas. One thing that wasn't man, I didn't put up the article for it in here, but another thing that wasn't really mentioned about the TV show that I found kind of a little disheartening is during the TV show came out, and at the same time they announced a Fallout 4 is getting its next gen update. Oh,
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, but this next gen update has now led to the Fallout London mod, that like big mod that's been.
Yeah,
I talked about it like a month ago.
Yep.
That's been like indefinitely delayed. They have to wait for that patch to come out, and then who knows from where there.
Wait, they're not going to continue at all?
Well, I mean, they probably are, but they now have to wait for that patch to come out and then fix any of the bugs that might occur because of that patch. So I'm sure that we'll get it, as it's something that's passionate, but like currently, because they don't have they just don't have a date. Like they're not saying anything on the date. So therefore, they're just saying like currently, indefinitely, it is being suspended. It
seems like a really weird choice, though. For me, it's like continue working with the code base that you have. Like,
well, so the thing is that was going to release like this month. That was supposed to release this month.
If they're that close, to me,
Which means I think they're they're at that point where like all they have left to do is release, and so now because of that they have to wait.
Well, why do they have to wait? Like that's the thing is what I'm saying is work with your current code base, and then you have it ready for that code base, and then you iterate when the release comes out. It's a really weird decision from a developer standpoint to me, especially for something that you're working on. It kind of hints more to me that they still have some issues to work out, and this is a good excuse to spend more time perfecting it and making sure that everything is exactly how they want to work.
I don't know. They seemed pretty ready to announce, and they said they were pretty blindsided by the announcement of the update. So that kind of sucks. Like, I'm sure that a bit of that blindsidedness also has slowed things down. Like from from the developers of that mod, they've been blindsided by that decision, which is a little unfortunate. I wish Bethesda would talk more with their modding communities, but that can't always be expected, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean...
Nor should be expected, just would be nice.
Well, I mean, if you have a big... Obviously, those had planned to be a big announcement. You're not going to tell anybody outside the company that.
No,
you're probably not going to tell a lot of people inside the company that.
I'm sure people in the company were blindsided about when the date was, you know, besides the fact that it is coming.
Yep. Okay. Well, continuing with Fallout, shall we?
Sure.
We got a theme, I guess, today. It's just a little tidbit that I saw that Amazon is officially giving a second season to Fallout. So, in case you were worried that it might not be happening, don't you worry your pretty little head. If you haven't heard around the world, it's been doing amazingly well, and people have been impressed. And
Todd Howard was asked whether they would do a Elder Scrolls one.
Yeah, and he said that's not going to happen.
Yeah, he responded in the way I wanted to hear him respond, which is no. Which is good. That does not need. I think that would cost way too much to do accurately.
I mean, probably.
There's just so much magic and dragons and stuff. Like CGI work like that takes a lot, where they could do a lot of practical effects, which is one of the things that like makes Fallout shine, is the like practical effects. Like those sets are pretty legit. They found like some old abandoned yards and stuff to film in. Yeah. And like real deserts to go to. So there's a lot of cool stuff with that. Mm-hmm. And you just can't do the same in like Elder Scrolls. We can't go to Morrowind. Like you'd have to create that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
There's not a place on Earth that you could get accurate like scenery for that.
I mean, you could dress it up. You could do practical effects for it for a lot of things.
Well, you can make that, but that's expensive. Is my point. Like that's so much more expensive than what they were able to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where it's like never say never, but I mean, right now you don't need it. Nobody needs it. So yeah. But yeah, so look forward to season 2.
Yeah, that'll be good. An EA Japan executive is criticizing the Japanese rating board.
Oh yeah.
Following the rating for Stellar Blade coming, which will be an uncensored in most regions, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
The EA executive in question is behind Dead Space. Sean Noguchi. I think that's his name. I don't know. I'm terrible with names, so don't hold me there. They banned the horror game Dead Space over features that it claimed, or that it had a vivisected corpse, where you could see cross sections of a severed body, including internal organs. So it was banned over there.
Mm-hmm.
And now, apparently, with Stellar Blade, the demo, which is really good, and the executive is just trying to make sure that people are understanding he's not wanting to attack the game, Stellar Blade itself. He looks forward to playing it and thinks more like wants people to play it. That's not the problem. The problem is with the CERO, the Computer Entertainment Ratings Organization in Japan. Because they've apparently given Stellar Blade a D rating, which also features cross sections of the human body and the insides. So he's just calling out like the falseness of the absurdity of having this one's okay, but mine wasn't.
Yeah.
Aspect, and what's the difference here? Which is seemingly a pretty legit complaint on my front, or from my angle at least.
Yeah, no, I agree.
When you want to ban one game like entirely, but this other one, because it's, I don't know. There doesn't seem to be like real. That's the hard part. There doesn't also seem to be any like conspiracy there or anything. Like there's no gain for anybody to have said.
Well, it's
yes or no.
It's different people looking at different content, right? Like, so they're not going to line up. But I think that it's, I don't know. I don't know how it works in Japan. I don't know if that's government controlled. But that's kind of why it's like the ESRB is actually a good thing here, because it's not controlled by the government, and it's things like that could be appealed and whatnot, and different decisions can be made, and they don't have to live up to some ridiculous government standard, because this is the one place where the gaming industry did something right. It's not the best system in the world, but I mean, it probably is actually the best system in the world. Because I think the ESRB has you might not agree with their decisions, but they do seem to, more often than not, make a consistent call on things.
That article really not get.
Huh?
I forgot to post another article, I guess. I'll have to find it later.
Find it now. I'll do my last one.
Too difficult.
So yeah, the last thing I got here is that just for anybody who's into those cozy time games, Cozy Grove-ish, sort of like Fae Farm and whatnot, there is a Lord of the Rings game coming out called Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. I didn't see when it was gonna actually hit here. Second half of 2024, coming out to the Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC. So all across the board, get the things.
Hobbit today.
Yeah, it could just be a really crappy cash grab. But
I saw it. I'm not impressed with the graphical look of it.
No. That part's definitely dialed in. But I mean, that's the thing, is that it could be something that could be fun. I don't know. I'm gonna pick it up.
Well, you'll have to tell us.
Yeah. With the sole intention of seeing if it's actually worth it. So so we'll see. Or we won't see.
Didn't mean nothing.
But yeah, that's all I got for news.
I just got one more thing. It's kind of my big thing, which is why I'm confused why the article's
She promised.
didn't get posted up in my show notes.
Let's see your big thing, dude.
Yeah.
Whip it out.
We're gonna whip it out right now. Embracer Group, back in the news.
It's the first thing you posted yesterday.
Did I?
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I was having a hard time finding it. Well, that's probably because I'm an idiot.
I didn't say it. You did. Yeah, no, they're... Well...
So Embracer Group is splitting into 3 separate companies.
Mm-hmm.
This decision has got to come out of a sense that Embracer Group itself is now just like a toxic brand name. With everything they've done since they started in like 2019, buying up a whole bunch of companies, and now canceling a whole bunch of games, closing a bunch of companies. But they're splitting into 3 groups. One of them is hardly to say it's their group, which is Asmodee Corp. Asmodee is known for a lot of like board games,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been around for like a while. And Embracer Group bought them out a while back. So fine, Asmodee is going to be fine. Apparently, they're just same management team, so nothing new to expect from like them. If you're into board games, you shouldn't have anything to worry about there. The other 2 groups.
It's not the same for the Middle Earth? Because those were bought up too, and I thought it was going to be essentially the same team.
Well, we haven't. So I know that there's going to be like a slight leadership moving around, and
Yeah.
like some people are going to be promoted and whatnot. He's talking about that. The CEO? I don't care what his name is. Shitbag29. Who knows?
Why would they have a number at the end?
I mean, because that's
like
all
their
he sees it
username?
as.
Out of all the names it could have been, I feel like that's not it.
That's sorry. That's just what I was guessing. Like,
Well, I guess in an interview, what was nice to see is that he took responsibility for their shortcomings.
oh, yeah, it's better than that one company who like killed themselves in one day because of leakers.
Yeah.
But we talked about that last week. But no, that's
That's why
clearly
he's
like
29, not number 1 or 2.
well, number 1 is still held by Bobby Kotick, even though he has nothing to do with it. Followed right behind Yves Guillemot of Ubisoft. So
Yeah,
like,
this is your ranking. That's what that number is.
yeah,
Ass
that one. Yeah.
Only 29th from the top. You're fine.
Well, that's not bad for a CEO. That's not bad. No, the other ones are so weird though. Like the other names of the groups that they're splitting into is Coffee Stain and Friends, which is going to focus on like indie games.
Mm-hmm.
And they've put out things already. Like a lot of their developers are people behind like Deep Rock Galactic and some like well-known titles.
That is what Coffee Stain makes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends, which would be there.
Is a weird thing.
The Friends is holding a lot here, like on both sides of these names. The and Friends are definitely holding like the majority of the company up, because the Lord of the Rings is going to include things like Tomb Raider, Kingdom Come Deliverance, which has another game coming out. Their studios are Crystal Dynamic, Eidos Montreal, Tripwire. They're like bigger studios.
Yeah.
But it's just so weird. I do not like the name. Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends. I get that they have the Lord of the Rings IP, but
Well, that's
like for how long? Like,
yeah, that's how the group started out, though. It's from my understanding. They were Middle Earth Enterprises before Embracer bought them up. So that's where that's coming from. Why they're doing the and friends is I don't know. It just feels so fucking weird.
Because feel like stupid friends.
Along with a whole lot of like shitty CEO speak. There is an open letter that you can read from Lars Wingorf about all the decisions here, but it's just so clear that they're trying to scrub away. It's like, to me, it's pretty clear that they're trying to scrub away the Embracer.
Oh yeah.
Stain that they've left upon themselves. It's just so, God, I hate Embracer Group so much. This doesn't mean, even though they're splitting into these three groups, this Lars guy is gonna stick around. He's not going anywhere.
Nope. I mean, if he was leaving, it would be one thing where it might succeed that they erase that, but it's always going to be in every article that comes out. You know, former CEO of Embracer Group.
Yeah. The thing is like, his reason in his open letter, he writes that the reason, because he's been asked to vacate his position.
He should. Just in terms of
despite being responsible for the whole fiasco, for the whole thing, and all of this, even in the open letter where he somewhat takes responsibility for it. At the end of it all, he does say, in 2016, I made a promise to stakeholders that I would be around for at least 25 years, and I still have 17 years left.
Yeah, I don't think they care about that.
Yeah, dude, that's not that promise was for you. That was a hopes that you will stick around. My dude, like, any more fuck ups like that, and I doubt they'll let him stick around.
Yeah, that's fair. No,
so,
I mean, honestly,
we'll see.
I mean, this will shift perception of them. Because
it's gonna take. It's gonna succeed to a level because you're not gonna hear Embracer. It's like Tencent, you know. Mm-hmm. Tencent has all they have because they kind of try and keep their name out of it most of the time. Yeah, and not that like every, you know. And Tencent's one of those things, like, it's hard because they are like an Embracer Group company. Like, they buy development teams and have been responsible for closing many, and on many levels just as bad. They're just better at like hiding their actions. Yeah. And, you know, that's not to like put down any of those games that are made by anybody by Tencent, or even any of the ones here that Embracer Group owns, because it isn't. My attack isn't on like the developers side of things. It's definitely just on like the board members, shareholders, and higher ups that are making decisions without their team. They often like to forget about the people who make their games.
Indeed. Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be hearing more from them in the upcoming weeks as things are shifting and whatnot. So, we'll see. I don't have anything else. That's all you got too, right?
That's my big thing.
Yeah,
and that's
they're being
the
shitty.
News.
That's.
I mean, that's not really news. When you phrase it like that, Embracer being shitty. Just,
well, yeah. I just went into more details.
Yeah.
I just went into more details of why.
Yeah.
In other news, water is wet.
In other news, CEOs are horrible, crappy people. Never trust them.
Very out of touch. I was reading today about why a whole bunch of let's talk about like why we're not seeing a whole bunch of people returning to the like MCU and stuff. Because a lot of like the things like Bob Iger has said and done. Some being like openly against Bob Iger, including She-Hulk's Tatiana. Mm-hmm. Like she was asked if we'll get a 2, and she's like, yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath for it or anything. Like she doesn't seem like she wants to return. During the strikes, she had some pretty rough things to say about Bob Iger and his just lack of touch with what reality is. All very agreeable. Bob Iger is one of those CEOs that I have a problem with.
Yeah, there's not many that out there that are even halfway decent people. Well, yeah. Now that I'm more depressed, let's call it there.
Enjoy the rest of your day, folks, if you can.
Yeah, more news. World is shitty. And more time.
You people already knew that, though.
Well, yeah. Call it there. Yeah, some good discussion. And we didn't argue this time, so there's that.
Oh, shit. All right, we're not done.
We're, right.
All right, who's got some bullshit?
Let's see. Well, as always, you can catch us every Tuesday for the 8-Bit Show on the Twitch and the YouTubes, and that's all I'm streaming to. Decided. That's all. Not the Facebook.
Sounds like more than enough.
Yeah.
Twitch and the YouTubes, that's fair.
The only other one that I would ever consider would be Facebook, but that's not worth it. But
stream on Kick.
Well,
the hot young streaming is that?
It's gone
I don't
out.
fucking know. I'd never been. I've never been.
It was promising, but they're not delivering. Is basically what it's boiling down to. So I don't think it's really worth it to start investing unless they actually make some improvements that they said they were going to make. So I don't know. We'll see. But at this point, I'm not going to sink any time into it. But I think by next week, I'll be trying to see about getting our shorts and whatnot over on some other social medias, like the TikToks and things like that. Instagram.
I thought TikTok was about to get banned. What's the point of that?
Yeah, it probably won't.
They probably would. It'd be kind of silly if they did.
Yeah, it'd be really weird. I don't think it'll set a good precedent, honestly, if they do that. But we'll see. It's not like the government's hasn't done dumber things.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like the show, subscribe so you can catch us every time we go live and catch all the 8-Bit shows as they go up and whatnot. You can also visit us on our Discord, which you can find links on the Twitch and the YouTube descriptions for. And yeah, other than that, catch you guys next time. Bye.
Boy.